Hey everyone, it's Ken here from Northern Viking Everyday. Today we're going to be unboxing and taking a closer look at this Corsair H100x RGB Elite Performance 240mm liquid CPU cooler. We'll open this up, show you what comes in the box, go over the main specs, then I'll come back to you once it's installed in my PC so you can see what the RGB lighting looks like. Now if you are interested in this cooler or any of the components I'm using in my build, they're all linked below in the description, but let's go ahead and dive right into this Corsair H100x. So again, this is the Corsair Super Chilled H100x RGB Elite Performance 240mm RGB liquid CPU cooler. And that's what it looks like there. So we've got the radiator, two 120mm RGB fans, RGB in the blockhead, and the tubes there. And this is IQ compatible for controlling your RGB. There's not much on the sides here, but on the back, it does show you everything that's included in the box. And of course, we're going to go over all of that. And there are some technical specs down here as well. If you want to pause it and have a closer look at that. And I'll actually pop up all the main technical specs as well so you can have a look at those. A couple things I did want to point out for the cooling socket support. It supports Intel 1700, 1200, 1150, 1151, and 1156. And for AMD, it's AM4 and AM5 sockets. So let's go ahead and open this up. So in the box, there's quite a bit of hardware. Of course, it came with the paperwork, the safety, compliance, and warranty information, and then some hardware bags. This one has all your fan screws, radiator screws, washers, and some thumb nuts in it. And this one is your bracket and standoffs for your AMD AM4 and AM5 socket. Let's have a quick look at those brackets. And that's what those look like, and those slide onto your blockhead if you're using an AM4 or AM5 socket. And then we've got our Intel hardware here. So there's a back plate as well as the different standoffs depending on what type of Intel socket you're using. And then there's a Y splitter for your fan. So that's a 4-pin female to a double 4-pin male. And then we've got an ARGB cable with the ARGB connection there. And that's what the other end looks like there. And then we've got our two 120mm Corsair fans. These are both the same and they attach to the radiator. And there are arrows on the side here for fan direction. And then of course your RGB connector and your fan connector there. And then lastly, we've got our 240mm radiator there. So that'll get mounted to our case. Our fans get mounted here underneath. And then we've got our tubing that goes down to our blockhead. Now the blockhead has a nice shiny black piano finish on it, and it comes pre-mounted with the Intel bracket. So if you're using an AMD AM4 or AM5 socket, you'll have to replace the bracket with these right here. So those just pop off. And the cool thing is this Corsair logo is removable, so you can rotate it. It's magnetic there, and you can rotate it around so it's always facing in the correct direction. You've got your RGB lighting in there. And then if I flip this over here, and I'll pull off the plastic cover here, and the cold plate material there is copper, and it does come with a one-time use thermal pad on there, so we don't need to apply thermal paste on there. And again, if you want to remove these, they just come off. You can slide them off, these Intel brackets, and then replace them with the AMD bracket. So they're quite easy to change out. And then for the connectors, it's got the 3-pin fan connector as well as the RGB connector there. So I'm going to go ahead and install this cooler, and then I'll come back to you so you can see what all the RGB lighting looks like. So I've got the cooler and fans all set up here, and the RGB is running. It's currently on ports 4 and 5 for myself, and there's all sorts of customization in here. Currently it's on watercoloring. So that's what that looks like. There's audio lighting, so it matches your audio, color pulse. And on some of these you can select your color. So red, maybe blue. You can have that set up so it switches between those. Color shift. This one's currently on random colors. You can also adjust the speed. Color warp. color wave, infinity, marquee, the rain option. That one's kind of cool. Rainbow goes through all the colors there. Rainbow channel, rainbow wave, rotary stack, sequential, spiral rainbow, strobing, temperature. So you can have it change color depending on the temperature of your CPU. So green is cooler, red is warmer. That's kind of handy. And visor. Plus a whole bunch of other custom options. You can have static colors, etc. And I'm using the IQ software to control this right here. So a lot of great options in here, and you can fully customize these fans to however you like them. So I hope this quick unboxing of this Corsair H100x RGB liquid CPU cooler gave you value. If it did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.